and I welcome you to another episode of Caring Alive. Tonight, this is a recap of what has been happening throughout the week in our Zimbabwe political arena. As last weekend, we saw Emmerson Mnangagwa at Zimbabwe ruins, whereby we will later, by the end of the day, it was reported that there was a chopper which had an accident. But what is so shocking and alarming is the fact that this is public interest, and we should be updated. There's no update from the government of Zimbabwe who was involved in the accident. There was no update from the ZANU-PF government whether they were there were fatalities and any persons in particular who were involved in the accident. And therefore, some of us will come back again to those manipulative tactics of Emmerson Mnangagwa. We know he is the chief manipulator. He tries to psychologically condition people. But some of us, we have known his tactics, his dirty tactics for a long time, and we do not fall for that. So yes, I'm here to just try to see what has been going on. So at the end of the day, ZANU-PF, its organs, the Ministry of Information via Dabaninki Mangwana, George Charamba, their pages ZBC, also the Avarakashi pages reported of that accident of the chopper in Masvingo. So at the end of the day, they did not update us what's going on. And the reason why I'm bringing it here, because we have seen so many incidents whereby Emmerson Mnangagwa is trying to manipulate the Zimbabwean citizens as if he is a victim, whereby he is not a victim, but he is the perpetrator. So Zimbabwe, we need to understand the Air Force of Zimbabwe. If it was your chopper, you need to update the citizens of Zimbabwe. You cannot emotionally blackmail the citizens of Zimbabwe into your political fights. We need to understand who was involved in that and what was the outcome. Yes, we know Emmerson Mnangagwa has been playing these dirty tricks since a long time. We can look back, reflect back to like 2015, 2014, whereby he has been alleging Muchinguri built a shrine for him. He alleges that there was cyanide in his office. He even say he was a victim of ice cream poisoning. So please, Zimbabwe Defense Forces, you update the masses of Zimbabwe in this incident which was reported? They said that there was a chopper which had an accident. Whether there were pilots, we need to understand, we need to know, we want an update about their welfare. They're still Zimbabweans, even though they are serving the interests of, they've got no choice. These pilots, these airmen, they are serving one of the most rogue, evil, deranged family called the Mnangagwa. At the end of the day, they are still Zimbabweans. We need to know, to understand, how are they in terms of their well-being? Because you can't tell us that there was a chopper and then the next thing you just go quiet. We need an update. Whilst I'm on that, we got into the week. There was a news about Guthrie Munyuki, the editor of Daily News. Guthrie is a dirty man. I'm not sharing any empathy with him. In June of this year, 2024, I had female-male journalists from the Daily News. If you look back, I've read some articles which have been published in the Daily News, which that maybe whether they've copied and pasted it from my articles and stuff. I've got some articles on agriculture, on parent shiri, our freedom and everything, which have been previously printed in the Daily News. And I've journalists, female, male, they've all contacted me May, June, around that time. They all complained about Guthrie, how corrupt he is. They even told me around that time that he was even pressuring them to go to make some reports on Chiwenga, and some of them thought that Guthrie was incompetent because his children's school fees are paid by ZANU-PF Lacoste of Emmerson Mnangagwa. They even mentioned that Guthrie suppressed the real reports on Walter Magaya, the rape incidents. He raped the people, he raped the women, and there's evidence of that. But Guthrie Munyuki suppressed that. They even went on to report about the case of Enoch Kamshinda, how he is being corrupt in Namibia, and because he is an extension of Emmerson Mnangagwa's rogue extension of corruption in the SADC. Guthrie Munyuki also suppressed those reporters. They also went on to tell me about the cases of Vute, which also Guthrie Munyuki was blocking from being published. Yet they are victims, Zimbabwean victims. So this Guthrie Munyuki is an extension of Emmerson Mnangagwa propaganda. So I do not share any empathy, because when you are a less of a man who cannot even pay your children's fees, and you rely on bootlicking other men who are rogue and corrupt, then you deserve what's coming to you. And for myself, it is a pity, because some people will say I'm tribalist. I'm not tribalist. I'm not trying to be politically correct, because I don't believe in being politically correct. I should point out things as they are. So don't come here and tell me that I'm tribalist, I'm this. I'm pointing out things. In Zimbabwe, our problem in politics is that the people from Masvingo, Chirumanzu, Bikita, Gutu, Zishavane, they're cancer to Zimbabwe. If we look back wherever it is, if you read everything, the literature which is there, whether it has been compiled by a white, a Rhodesian, a missionary, whether it was the report of Chitepo's Meda, whether it was what was happening in Mozambique, it still points back to these entitled men and women from Masvingo. They are a cancer to our nation. And don't come here and tell me fuck or and say to me I'm being tribalist. I'm calling a spade as a spade. Our problem is these people from Masvingo in this region, Gutu, Zishavane, Bikita, Chirumanzu. We are tired of them. Those who read literature, those who follow everything which has happened in our politics, it all comes back to the Belingwe mafia. And ED is the godfather of those people. They are inept. Even if you look at our history, those are the same people again from Masvingo who've been working with whether it was the Rhodesians or it was the Pioneer Column, to suppress our people. Because these people, they are so ignorant that they would rather suppress a black Zimbabwean to serve the interests of anything white-skinned. Yes, I have to say that. So don't come here and tell me nonsense. I call a spade a spade. I'm not here for being politically correct. No, I'm not here for that. So, the reason why I'm saying this is because I listened to this clip. I don't know whether some other people you've listened to it, whereby Emmerson Mnangagwa, I don't know whether he was at a rally or wherever he was, whereby he was trying to, it was a sick joke after all, a very dry joke, whereby he was saying to, allegedly, he was trying to referring this joke to Mohadi, to say that Mohadi, if you want to take over from me, you need to be poisoned and you have to lie dead for 3 days. Emmerson Mnangagwa, who poisoned you? You and your family poisoned yourself. Who poisoned you? Why do you want to put so much importance on yourself, you useless, old, deranged old man? Who poisoned you? Even if you claim that you were poisoned, is that an entitlement you're telling us? Nobody in ZANU-PF voted you or whatever. Nobody gave you the poison, ice cream or whatever. People in Zimbabwe, they don't even love you. You've got no value. You're a thug. You kill people. So what's so important about your life? And that's why I'm talking about this Guthrie Munyuki thing and pointing it now to what Emmerson Mnangagwa said about Kembo Mahadi. Because Emmerson Mnangagwa cannot make that joke referring it to Chiwenga because there is evidence which has been collected, evidence to prove that Emmerson Mnangagwa was behind the poisoning of Mukanya Chiwenga. And he knows that. That's why when you see when he touched his waist, he was in shock. He didn't know that Mukanya Chiwenga was coming back to Zimbabwe. He thought he was coming back in Zimbabwe as a carcass in a sealed coffin. And to his shock, Mukanya Chiwenga came back alive and walking. So now that's why he's referring this sick joke to Kembo Mohadi. Emmerson Mnangagwa, you are not fit. Nobody. And this to you, to my brother Mukanya Chiwenga. You see, this ingrate, this incompetent old fool, or the you imposed on Zimbabweans what is going to do to you. Emmerson Mnangagwa, there is nothing to write home about you. Whether Guthrie Munyuki was not sabotaged by his staff, I know he was sabotaged by his staff because on Friday, some of them called me to say they are very happy. There's a fresh air at Daily News. He was not there. He did not turn up for work whilst he was busy bootlicking you. They even told me, the journalists, to say that they want Guthrie Munyuki to be kicked out. They even wanted me to tell the shareholders that I'm talking about May, June, and I've written about it. That's how he's hated, because people, they've seen Guthrie Munyuki collecting backhanders openly from ZANU-PF Lacoste. It is a pity because it is said that Guthrie Munyuki, I think, is from Marsh West, around Mondoro, and then we had another, that old stupid one called the Caesar's Rai, again, I think from Marsh East. Why should people from Marsh East, Marsh West, or Manicaland, whatever, be allowing themselves to be used by Emmerson Mnangagwa, a tribalist who doesn't believe that anyone from any other region is supposed to rule the Zimbabwe? Why are you so stupid? Don't come here and tell me that I'm being tribal. I'm calling out a spade as a spade. I'm not for political correctness. Political correctness has destroyed nations. Political correctness has destroyed the future of many potential for our future generation. So don't come here and start backing to say that I'm this, I'm that. I'll point it out. As long as Emmerson Mnangagwa is trouble, let me speak my mind as I wish. So, Emmerson Mnangagwa, if anybody says rest in peace, you are not even supposed to be wished to rest in peace. You are supposed to be wished not to rest in any peace. You are supposed to be wished to be restless, to rest in horror, because you are a wicked, evil man and your family. Why should be the wicked be wished any good? Which rest do you deserve? You don't deserve any rest. If your soul departs from this earth, going wherever it's supposed to be going, where there's hope or whatever, let it go to hell, because that's where you belong. You have made so many people's lives miserable in this place. People, they've got no clean, safe water. People, they've got no jobs. People, they don't even know where their next meal is coming from. And you and your family, you are looting. You are giving our resources to people, your friends, Arab friends, your stupid, useless thugs in Europe. And our people are suffering. So, don't tell us that people are not suffering. As long as Emmerson Mnangagwa and this family, they do not respect the right to life of any Zimbabweans. Why should any Zimbabwean care about whether Emmerson Mnangagwa, his wife, his children live? We do not care. And you should take it in your mind whether you like it or you don't like it. And nobody's supposed to apologize for that. As long as you're killing innocent and destroying the potential of many millions of our future generations, whether old, new, or to be born, nobody owes you an apology. You understand, Emmerson Mnangagwa? No Zimbabwe should do. Oh, the Mnangagwas is sorry. The same evil must be paid with evil. Fire for fire. You respect the people of Zimbabwe, the people of Zimbabwe will respect you back. But as long as you don't respect any Zimbabwean lives, then, my dear, it can only be Guthrie Munyuki and his associates to apologize to you, not to me. I'll never do that. Whatever be forced to you, Emmerson and Mnangagwa, the same evil you wish on other people, the same way you take other people's lives, the same way you put other people's lives on hot stoves and their matako is bent, so shall it be. May you suffer the same, and nobody owes you any sorry, any apology. Wickedness must be paid by wickedness. Fire for fire. If you don't, you are a coward. You are scared of dying. Yet each day you've got the thugs terrorizing people, terrorizing Zimbabweans. Zimbabweans, they can't sleep in their homes because they felt that they do not agree to your politics and your looting and your thuggery. And then they have to be intimidated. And what's so special about you? An old man, about 80-something years, if not 90-something, but you have reversed your age. Nobody cares. You are going to die. You are not a god of Zimbabwe, and you should come to that. So it is unfortunate that this Gathri is used by Emmerson and Mnangagwa. And I know for a fact that those people are telling you whether it's printing or whatever they call it, they saw it. But because they are fed up of gathering Munyugisi, open saga and intimidating other journalists, you deserved it. Well done, Daily News journalists, for what you did to him. And you, Emmerson and Mnangagwa, your life ain't special. You are not the most qualifying pig of Zimbabwe. Zimbabweans deserve better, more than you and your family. You are thieves and you are thugs. There's no peace for the wicked. And you, Oppah Muchinguri, I saw you are saying that not every ZANU-PF member is going to be invited to the Congress. You are feeling sorry for Chiwenga that you'll be booed. Why are you feeling sorry for Chiwenga to be booed? Isn't it politics? Is now politics for the faint-hearted? Why? Let people come and boo Chiwenga. Why do you think people want to boo Chiwenga? You think we don't know what you're up to? We know that you want to invite your bootlickers to come and amend the ZANU-PF constitution. Those bootlickers you are going to use to amend the Zimbabwean constitution. Those people you are going to invite to that ZANU-PF Congress are your people you would have paid and dictate and threaten that they will have to vote for a woman VP. We are not stupid, you bloody old fool called Oppah Muchinguri. ZANU-PF people, you must open your eyes and see this old faggot called Oppah Muchinguri. Bloody, miserable old fool with a very, very evil manner in all he approach. You think we don't know? Why should you feel sorry for Chiwenga? Is it not politics? Is politics now like going to the church? Even the church, is it not abused by Emmerson and Mnangagwa, whereby he's wearing a garment of apostolic and he's threatening people? That is a very, very evil man. He kills, he do what? And now you are telling us that not everybody is being invited to ZANU-PF Congress this year. Well, don't worry. We know what you are up to, you silly old faggot called Oppah Muchinguri. Heartless you are. You can invite those your corrupt people. But at the end of the day, nobody wants Emmerson and Mnangagwa. And that's why you are trying to play this card to say that not everyone. You know that if it was an open, a fair election, who is going to vote for Emmerson and Mnangagwa? Are people of Zimbabwe not suffering? Are Zimbabwean supporters not immune to suffering? They are facing the challenges like any Zimbabwean. And don't tell us nonsense to say that you are concerned that people will boo Chiwenga. Let people boo Chiwenga. Let them come and vote, not to try and pay your bootlicker so that they will impose a woman VIP, a bootlicker, a former prostitute of Emmerson and Mnangagwa, the one you want to impose there. We know what your tactics, evil people. So this is all I had to say, Zimbabwe. So thank you for joining in, and thank you once again, and we hope to catch up on another episode of Kerina Live. So thank you, Zimbabwe, and have a very good night. We're looking forward to another episode as we look at it, and you remain focused, don't be distracted, and Kanya Chiwenga, remain resolute to the end. We want you to remain alive. We want you alive. And don't worry, Zimbabweans are seeing what Emmerson and Mnangagwa and these minions are doing to you. Mukanya, you have come a long way. You are a Mumbire like me. And us Mbire people will never be intimidated by a Shumbas. A Shumba will only rule in the Lion Book at Walt Disney. Zimbabwe is ruled by the Mbires, not by an imposed thug of a Shumba, a clan called Murambwi, a Wani, a prodigal Murambwi. Us, we are the great people of Mbire. We are the great people of Wedza, not one who is written in the Walt Disney books as a hero. Emmerson Mnangagwa, a lion is only a hero in a Walt Disney movie. So enjoy whilst it lasts. I do not care whether you live or you don't live. Zimbabweans deserve better, more than who you are. Have a good evening, Zimbabwe. I love you. Your favorite sister. Good night.